Good evening, America. This is Jonathan, the Silver Sun speaking, and it's Wednesday, the 27th of January, 2021. So, here we are, 1 week after inauguration, and we've seen a flurry of executive actions to enforce the Biden agenda. And some are very progressive, some have been due for a number of years. Executive orders that have been made in regards to racial inequity, rooting out racial or racism in public housing, rescinding the ban on transgender people serving in the military, as well as a plan for working against the spread of COVID, and of course climate change. So I mean, this is all extra time for us. I, Jonathan, the Silver Sun, is stronger than time. It's a metaphor. But because my being, my force, the force of He, combined in a platypus type of physiology, I'm stronger than time. So take it what you want from it, but I've been able to do something pretty good for all you people out there who need more time to get it right, who need to get to a safe place, higher ground, up higher above the waterline, because there is a flood coming, and I have seen the future, and there is going to be some parts of the coastal fringes on the west and east coast of America that will be underwater, if we don't do something about this climate change existential crisis. So, Democrats in general are self-serving pigs at the troughs of the state, and they don't get it. They don't get that it is over. God, 10 and 11 have made promises to many people of the greatest generation who fought in World War II that their place in heaven will be made for them. And that's why it's ending so quickly. Some people say that if Trump got re-elected, we would be looking at some type of war with China, in decades to come that would result in World War III or something along those lines, manifest inside jobs. I didn't see that happen initially, but the book is written, and it has to be fulfilled. But we could do something better. We could do something amazing if we unite and we get behind a world order that is unified, that is based on values of not consumerism or materialism or crypto capitalism. It's based on bringing people out of their impoverished lives to provide for people, not just the haves. It's about giving the have-nots their God-given rights as human beings: shelter, food, electricity, clothing, a job. Everyone needs to have a job. If you're disabled, we understand. But if you're capable and you're functional, you should try and get a job. Yeah. We all need doers, workers, and working class heroes. It's not what it's really made out to be, but it used to be something to be, working class heroes. And I respect those people. Those are the people I represent. Those are the people that I find commonality with. And they're people that want the American dream, and they want to work in manufacturing, production, material resource mining. These types of. I mean, we can do this. We can provide and give people a dream if we make laws for the workforce who can work in other countries and give these pathways, these channels for people to migrate. And of course, I mean, language is a barrier. It's a huge barrier, but they're teaching Chinese in American schools. I saw on PBS a few years back, they're teaching Chinese. People are going to migrate there. People are going to try to make a career out of it. But getting back to Democrats, this is the thing. This is they want us to forget what we've done for the past 5 years. I apologize for making politics popular. I apologize for making politics news to people. I apologize for making politics a factional or tribal type of sport, but because I have taken the last 5 years serious, doing something for the man, I hoped I could deliver the Democratic Party to the hands and reins of my superiors, for them to control the debate, to control legislation, to control the progressive way by which we manifest, and but by the which we govern the country and in turn govern the world. That didn't exactly happen, but it was close, and the election was bought. Bernie won a number of states, and if the forces on the outside in didn't intercede and buy the election, we could have been looking at a Bernie Sanders presidency. So, but that's the way that politics in this country goes. I support Bernie. I love Bernie. Bernie caucuses with the Democrats, but he's a Bolshevik. People call him a Bolshevik. I don't know whether that term really suits his character or his personality or his leanings, but I am a high idealist, and Bernie still is relevant to me, and he is one of the main leaders in the Senate and in Congress that controls the debate of the progressive left. People want to know what he thinks. And Bernie, we don't want criminals voting in jail, turning the prison class presidency into a political game. It's factional and tribal enough in prisons, and we don't want prison wars breaking out over who becomes president. That is something that seems a little... it would be chaotic, and people don't want to know who the year president is of Quantico or some other prison. So don't forget what we have learned in the past 5 years. Don't forget what our predecessors have done, such as FDR, such as the New Deal he inspired, the Social Security, the Medicare for All. Don't forget that that is rooted in the Democratic Party, and we need a New Deal president, someone who is going to tax the rich at 1930s rates, because we are facing a Great Depression. The economy is not tanking at the moment, but there are going to be shockwaves. There are going to be a lack of investment, and that's why that's why Biden wishes to invest in the country with massive investment for our waterways, our renewables, our rewiring the grid in certain metropolises, a number of big investments in infrastructure that will keep investment and jobs growing during this period of stagnation. So, but this is what America needs now. Deals like FDR put together. This is the time and place. I can't emphasize that enough. But because Biden is a bought politician, he has his hands tied. He doesn't have to listen to us. He can listen, but he won't work for us. He won't. Because the election was bought by them. Them who are reforming who are high idealists, who have empathy, who recognize the humanity in themselves. But there are people that are communists who work for both of us and them, and who try to keep things diplomatic and peaceful and steady, and an approach where it's pragmatic. And there's this new phenomenon that I've created after the serious focus, the intense 5-year focus on politics in America. There's this new phenomenon that I've created, and it's tribal in nature. It's about expats outside the country of America becoming tribal leaders, in some sense, of white people in the West who want governance on a global scale to meet their needs and their aspirations and function in a way so it serves them. Now this is people outside of America who want their airspace, their police state, and subsidies with Wall Street and other main corporations, tax breaks, all that kind of stuff. They want it to work for these white people. It's tribal, and all it is a thread or a connection. These people assume these tribal expat leaders' identities, their behavior, their beliefs, their credo, and it seems like it's a good thing. It does. It seems like it's a good thing that we're getting people interested in politics. Even though the past 4 years have led Republicans who voted for Trump nowhere, you're nowhere, and you need to keep moving, and you need to get to a place that's safe. Otherwise, hell's gonna break loose. So don't stop moving. Keep moving in the right direction. Move together. Stay in groups. Watch your back, and that's not a threat. I mean, I care about you guys. I understand you guys, and I believe in an America that serves you and takes care of you, and it's not just the party of the president of one party. It's the president of all Americans. So. So yeah, there's been a flurry of executive actions by Biden. One is focused on public housing in underserved communities. There's been a lifting of the transgender ban. I don't really have a problem with transgender people serving in the military, but one, they've got to be ready to do their job, and that is the job to the fullest extent at the highest level possible, and they've got to have a camaraderie and mateship with their fellow soldiers. Otherwise, if it's not glue, if it's not gelling, then and they're making people. I mean, I don't care what's between your legs, but as long as you're ready to do your job to the fullest extent at those appropriate moments, as long as you're able to be all that you can be and go the distance, and and be there for your fellow soldier, save his life, heroic duties, then if you're not willing to do all these things and more, I don't see how your place could be beneficial to have someone in the military. But I mean, if you're a man that's a woman, and you're trans, I mean, I don't see a problem. I mean, I've heard of people, Navy SEALs, who have been upset that they can no longer serve because they've had operations. But I mean, I don't see a problem with that. I mean, they're trained, they know how to use the weapons, that they've got medals under their belt, and they're qualified, and they have their experience. So why not give them a chance to keep serving? And we need people like this who can break boundaries, and who can be an example to their community, and not be some corrupt hedonist hell-bent on screwing people in the corporate sector, or bringing the pain to certain TIs, doing disgusting acts that really do make you cringe. I mean, there's a whole plethora of underbelly of certain people in that community, and they really need to have a hard look at themselves, because they're not so open and tolerant. They're not so accepting. They have issues. They have flaws, and it just seems like these types of people are spearheading the corporate sector nefarious activities department, and taking things to a whole new level of deplorable behavior. So wake up, realize what time it is, and your place in it, and where you're going, and how you're going to get there, and what your judgment is going to be once you have been found out of your crimes, of your hypocritical, patronizing, ironic attitude or life or mindset. Yeah, it's just like, please, someone please get through to these people that they need help. I can't do this by myself. Someone needs to help these people. So please help out the gay community. Build bridges, build friendships, build relationships. But I'm not asking you to be like that. I'm not asking you to have the best of both worlds, which it isn't. Best of one world is the way to go, believe me. Being confused and saying, oh, I don't like that. Oh, that wasn't too bad. Ooh, what was that? Zero. Never gonna happen. Never did. It's not gonna happen, people. If you want something ironically bad for it to happen to me, simply because I've chosen a way to live my life, like I'm the one who's flawed, I'm the one that is a screwball, simply because I don't get off that way. Do you have a problem with this? Do you? That I'm a virgin? Because these types of people in my life are the bane of existence. I've got bullets, and I'm not afraid to use them. Roger that. Adios. Prophecy 212 concludes.